you can do. Be who you were meant to be. Peaceful warriors wellness. Feel better, move better, be better. Peaceful warriors.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Roberts, and my wife and I own Peaceful Warriors Wellness Center here in downtown St. Petersburg. We help people feel better, move better, and be better through therapeutic massage, corrective exercise, stretching, reflexology, and many other approaches that we use to help people out. So welcome to the Feel Better, Move Better, Be Better movement session. Today is the 18th of January, and we meet here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. live. And then, of course, we save it and share it on our Facebook page so that you can watch it at your convenience anytime. So if you're not available to participate at 8:30, that's okay. Love it if you're here, though. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. If you have anybody that you would like to share this with, that's always helpful as well. Like and share our content so that other people can enjoy it and benefit from it as well. And that'll be great. So grab yourself a rope or a strap or something like that. A belt would work as well. I like using these stretch out straps. You can buy these here at our office if you would like to stop by. We'd be glad to sell one to you. If you would like to go online, you can go to optp.com and they will ship it right to your door. Okay? The reason I like these straps is because it has these pre-sewn in loops that makes it much easier. You can use the full length of the strap instead of having to half it around the ball of your foot when you're doing some of your stretches with your legs. It makes it, you have to have a nice lengthy piece of rope or strap. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Place your hands a little bit more shoulder width apart on your rope or strap. Reach overhead, reaching for the sky, stretching out the spine, trying to create length between the base of your skull and your tailbone. Come up onto your toes if you'd like. Just actively reach as high as you can. Like you're trying to reach that thing that's just barely out of reach, but you really need it or want it. That's the kind of reaching you want to do. All right, go ahead and let your heels come back down to the floor, a little bit more shoulder width apart. And let's lean our bodies over to the left. Remember to exhale as you stretch. Don't hold your breath. Over to the left again. One more time. And over to the right. Of course, you can do a lot of these without the strap. It's not 100% necessary, but it does help. It allows you to do some self-assistance. And you always get more out of your stretch if you're assisting. If you're assisted than you do if you're not. All right, arms out at shoulder height. Rotate your chest all the way around to the left as far as you can. We're holding these stretches just for a couple seconds. We're going to go all the way around to the right. Create some movement in between the vertebrae, getting the discs all nice and mobile. All right, grab the end of the strap or rope with your right hand up over your head. You want the strap to come down between your shoulder blades towards your tailbone. You're going to reach down with your arm, and when you get as far as you can reach, then you want to use the strap to assist and add a little bit more. Again, stretch, hold it, and release it. Let's go ahead and reverse it so the right hand comes down to your belt line. Strap goes over your left shoulder, reaching up in between your shoulder blades as far as you can. Use the strap to assist to go a little bit further. Good. Bring that right arm up to shoulder height and 90 degrees at the elbow. In this movement, we're going to rotate our shoulder, which is going to, your hand and your forearm are going to move through time and space. Your elbow is going to stay stable. Reach back as far as you can. Use the strap to assist. We're going to open up the front of that shoulder and work against that rounding of the shoulders that we tend to do when we're spending time on our tablets and phones, at the computer, driving a lot. All these things round our shoulders forward, okay? Left hand overhead. Same thing on this side we just did on the right. Reach down between your shoulder blades. Good. Left hand down to the belt line, reaching up between your shoulder blades. I can't think of a time in our history, in recent history, that has been more important to be actively involved in your own health and wellness, taking care of yourself, drinking plenty of water. You should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces every day. I drink over a gallon of water every day. Your body needs it. Are you moving? Are you exercising? Are you sitting all day long? Are you getting outside a little bit and getting some vitamin D from the sun? Or are you just sitting inside watching the world go by? Okay? The choices you make every day will determine whether or not you're moving towards health or moving towards disease. You're never just stable, sitting in the middle. You're moving one way or the other. So let's place our palms flat on the wall, right hand on the wall. Fingers are pointing back behind me. I'm going to step forward with my left foot, and then I'm going to gently rotate my chest away from the wall. Hold it a couple seconds, then release. Easing into, breathing out, easing out of the stretch. You have a lot more control over your health and well-being than you give yourself credit for. Left hand on the wall, step forward. Gently rotate your chest away from the wall. We're opening up the front of the chest and the shoulder that's nearest the wall. Good. All right, we're going to go ahead and do some head and neck stretching. So we're going to turn our head to the left as far as we can. How important is this when you need to check your blind spots while you're driving? I can't tell you how many people I watch sitting there trying to turn their whole body to be able to look to their left or to their right in order to be able to see who might be there in their blind spot. So turn your head to the left, reach up with your left hand on the right temple, right hand behind the left ear, and then just add a little bit of pressure. We're not jerking or cranking the neck. We're just assisting in the stretch and movement. To the right. Turning the head first, adding just a little bit of assistance with the hands at the end. Right ear to the right shoulder. Reach up with your right hand over the left ear and just let the weight of your arm help with that stretch. To the left. Left ear to the left shoulder. All right. Let's go ahead and come on down to the floor. Have a seat. If you have a rope or a belt, if you have a belt that has, like a belt that goes around your waist, you can just go through the buckle and then take that strap around the ball of your foot like this. If you have a piece of rope or a long strap that doesn't have these pre-sewn in loops, you'll want to drape it on the end of the ball of your foot, and then you'll have two ends of it that you'll hold on to. And of course, if you have the stretch out strap like I do, you just drape it over your toes. All right, you need somewhere with some room for you to lay down. Straighten out your right leg, and we're going to pull that right leg up towards the right shoulder, okay? Remember, we're lifting the leg, and then we're using the strap at the end. We're not using the strap to lift the leg. Take the strap around the inside of your ankle and underneath the calf. The next movement is going to be towards our nose, so the right leg towards the nose. The reason we do these stretches with 3 different rotations and angles is there are 3 hamstrings on the back of each leg. And so by doing this, it isolates each of them and allows us to stretch them individually. Take the strap out from underneath your calf, around the outside and under again. So 1 full loop around the leg. Now our toes are pointing outwards naturally because the strap is pulling them that way. We're going to lift the leg towards the left shoulder. So right leg towards the left shoulder. And if you focus, you'll be able to feel the difference between each of these stretches. Really focus on trying to keep that knee straight. You're activating your quads, the front of your thigh, to get that movement to occur, okay, and keep that leg straight. We're going to lift the right leg just high enough to scissor across the top of the left leg. This is going to help open up the outside of the hip. Inhaling, exhaling. Next, we're going to lift that leg to 45 degrees and scissor across. You want to make sure you don't let your hips roll on these movements, because otherwise you're rotating the spine instead of stretching the hip. Lift and scissor. Next, we're going to bring that leg to 90 degrees, or as close to 90 as you're able to get, depending on how open your hamstrings are, and scissor across. Remember, you're creating the movement. The strap is there just to assist and add to. Take the strap out from underneath the calf, around the inside of your ankle and under again. Now we're going to take the right leg out to the right as far as we can. Both legs are straight. You're basically doing half of a split. Take your knees and bend them. Take your right ankle on top of your left knee. Pulling that right knee as close to the chest as you can. You can take the strap and set it aside for a moment. You're going to reach up with your left hand to your right shin and pull that shin and your right foot closer to your left shoulder. Easing into, breathing out, easing out of the stretch. Great, let's take the strap onto the left foot. We need to do the same thing on the left side that we just did on the right. Straighten out that left leg, and we're going to lift that leg towards the left shoulder. Strap comes around the inside of the ankle, Leg goes towards the nose. Take the strap out from underneath the calf and around the outside. Leg goes towards the right shoulder. Straighten out both legs. We're going to lift the left leg and scissor across the top of the right. Stretching out the outside of the left hip. Leg comes up to 45 degrees. So lift and scissor across. Bring the leg up to 90 or as close as you're able to get it to 90. Oops. All right, strap comes out from underneath the calf, around the inside and under again. There we go. Now we're going to bring that left leg out to the left as far as we can. Both legs are straight. Bend your knees and lift that ankle onto your right knee. We're going to reach up with the left hand behind the left knee, grab a hold of your shin, pulling that left foot towards the right shoulder. How are you feeling? One more. All right, let's go ahead and roll over onto our knees. Stand yourself up onto your knees, left knee down, right foot forward. We're going to push our hips forward, bringing the right knee over the right heel. So you want that foot out in front of you a little bit, okay? And as we push forward and sink into the stretch, I'll go ahead and give myself a little bit of room there. All right, easing into. It's really important that you keep your chest facing forward and upright. You don't want to be leaning forward. If it starts to pitch you forward and you can't go any further than here, for example, that's where you stop, okay? Push into it and allow for progress, but don't sacrifice your form. You want to feel this stretch across the front of the back hip. All right, let's switch knees. Right knee down, left foot forward. All right, easing into and out of the stretch. What a great way to start off our day, a great way to start off our week. All right, that's going to conclude our stretching portion of our class. Now we're going to engage in some exercises. So the three most common areas that people need to improve muscle stability is in their core, their glutes, and their upper back. These are the spots that we either ignore and allow to go slack, or we have muscles that are overcompensating and creating an imbalance, okay? So for the core, a lot of different exercises you can do to help strengthen the core. Remember that a sit-up is not a core exercise, it's a hip flexor exercise, and your hip flexors are probably already overpowering other muscles in your body. So I'm not a big advocate of doing sit-ups, and sit-ups are not a core exercise, okay? So what are core exercises? Well, we're gonna start off with one called the dying bug. And what I want you to do is I want you to lift your hips and tuck your tail and pull the lower spine off of the floor towards your belly button, okay? If you have a towel, you should be able to floss underneath your lower back between that and the floor, okay? Reach up overhead, lift your heels up off the ground, keeping that space between your lower back and the floor, and let's create 6 to 8 inches of movement in our arms and legs. This is called a dying bug. There are ways to regress and progress this exercise to make it easier or harder depending on where you're at and your level of core stability, okay? This is something that you should be engaging in on a regular basis. If you're tired or it gets too hard, put your feet down, take a deep breath, come back up and do some more of them. Again, make sure there's that little bit of space between your lower back and the floor. If you have any questions about the regression or progression, in other words, what I mean by that is, let's say that you're doing these dying bugs and it's just creating a lot of pain in your lower back. We need to regress. We need to make it simpler and easier while still challenging and activating your core so that you can later progress. If you progress too quickly, then you're going to create injury, which will make you regress forcibly as opposed to by choice. Okay? So dying bugs, very important to do those. Okay? Exercising the glutes, hip presses and bridges. Bridges are stable, hip presses are moving, okay? By squeezing your glutes and lifting your hips up off the floor, pushing your hips towards the ceiling, actively squeezing your glute muscles, that's a bridge. If you are doing movement, repetitions, that's a hip press. You can also do single leg hip presses if you're able. It requires a lot more core activation as well, okay? You would straighten one leg and just use one leg at a time, the same number of reps on each leg. And you would lift, using in this case the right glute to lift my body up off the floor. Okay, same number of reps on the other side, whatever you're able to do, okay? That's a progression from doing regular hip presses with two legs, okay? Make sure that you listen to your body, challenge yourself, but don't hurt yourself, okay? All right, good job. Let's go ahead and roll over onto our stomach. Now, all these stretches and or exercises, I'm showing you which ones to do and how to do them, hopefully with good form. It's always hard to tell when you're the one doing it instead of watching it. You can always critique very easily and add a little corrections that will be helpful. But it's on you to do more repetitions of any of these stretches and or exercises as you need them. Okay, each and every one of us are different in our strengths and weaknesses. Focus on where areas that you can improve on in your range of motion and mobility and in your strengthening, and you'll become a better version of the person you were the day before. So lay on your belly. Your arms are out, but bent at 90 degrees, and we're going to flex our upper back, lifting our head, our chest, and our arms off the floor. And when we're at the top of this, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and try to pull our elbows up towards the ceiling a little bit more. Okay, so inhale, exhale, and lift. And come on back down. Inhaling, as you exhale, great lift. Again, a very important exercise for people that have rounded shoulders, dowager hump, any of that combination where your head's forward, your shoulders are rounded, and you're creating a lot of strain and pressure on your upper back and neck, okay? Next, we're going to do what's called a plank. Probably one of the best core exercises that you can do for yourself. Place your elbows underneath your shoulders at shoulder width apart, palms flat on the floor. Squeeze your glutes and your core and lift your hips up off the floor, but not any higher than what would be level, okay, creating a straight line between the back of your knees and the back of your head. So here we go. And the way you know that you have this correct is when you start to feel that little bit of quiver in your belly. You can do it here on your knees. You can come up on your toes and add a little bit more body weight. It makes it harder, okay? Listen to your body. If you're not able to hold it on your toes, feel free to come down to your knees. There's nothing wrong with being here. The focus is on your core. All right, good job. Come on up into a seated position. Tuck your ankles up underneath your knees. And let's pull the top of our head up towards the ceiling, sitting completely upright. Relax your hands on your knees. And let's go ahead and do 5 very deep breathing breaths of air. I like to inhale through my nose, and I like to push the air out between my lips, nice and slow and steady, pushing every ounce of air until the lungs are empty. You have no choice but to inhale a big, deep lung of fresh air. Okay, thank you very much for joining me this Monday morning. I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. Hope you feel better, move better, and be better at everything you do. Remember that you're worth it, you deserve it, and greatness is yours. All you have to do is take small steps every day to continue moving towards that. Okay? We'll see you on Wednesday.